How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is the live stream post episode 3. How is everybody doing out there tonight? I hope everybody's had a fantastic couple of days, actually several days since I've last been on. I am so thrilled to be back tonight. I am really looking forward to this stream. If you are out there, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're there, because YouTube does not give me a roll call or anything of that sorts. So go ahead and say hi in the chat, and let's get ready to rock and roll. I am, like I said, I am so excited. Really been looking forward to hopping on here lately. Oh my goodness, got lots to talk about tonight, and looking forward to it. Let's see, we're gonna wait a few minutes to see who all joins us tonight. Let's see. Oh, why is that like that? Just going through some settings here real quick just to make sure everything is on the up and up. Let's see. That looks good. That looks good. Stream health is excellent. Perfect. There we go. Let's minimize that. Have the chat window open. Perfect. Like I said, I hope everybody's had a fantastic several days. It's been a while since we've been here, and yeah, just really looking forward to hanging out with everyone tonight. It's been it was nice to get away and to kind of unplug and kind of unwind and do all that, but it's also nice to be back and just back to, doing something. I'm convinced there's only ever so long that, at least me personally, that I can go before I'm like, you know what, I've got to do something. Got to do something. I know I sit there, and whenever I'm at work or whatever, it's like, oh man, I need a vacation. I need to take like a month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm convinced by the third or fourth day of, being on vacation, I'd be like, nope, I've got to get back. Got to do something. Let's see. Like I said, we'll wait a few more minutes. Oh, what just happened? Okay, there we go. Clicking buttons is never a good thing. Don't just randomly click things. Like I said, if you're out there tonight, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there. Say hi in the chat or something, because YouTube does not tell me who's out there. I can just see generalized numbers, but no such, specifics. So let me know that you're out there and hanging out with me tonight. I think we'll give it just one more minute before we get rolling onto the stream. And let's see. Do that. Pop that back out. Minimize. Perfect. Okay. I think I finally got everything all set up, ready to go. Keep our fingers crossed, at least. Gotta knock the rust off. Being gone for, several days like that, I feel a little rusty at this. Let's see if we can get back into the swing of things. So, it is now 9:34. Let's get cracking. So, as we can see, I've got several contracts I need to work on in the background. And yeah, it was a crazy week off. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Whew, man, it was very, very nice. Family and I, as many of you may know, I was on vacation for a little over a week, and it was nice. Ended up taking the family up into the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of Tennessee, and oh boy, was that just a slice of heaven. I absolutely loved it. One of those where we ended up getting a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and we traveled into town whenever we needed something, and it was a legitimate travel. It wasn't, hey, hop in the car and go 4 or 5 blocks down the road, kind of thing to get to the grocery store. It was legitimately like 30 to 35 minutes away before you even started seeing like the first signs of life. Oh, and it was just epic. Absolutely. Whoa, there's a car. Just absolutely loved it. Like I said, we were out in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. We were close enough to all the hustle and bustle that if we wanted to, we were able to go places and do things. So that was really nice. But we ended up going to Nashville a day, and me personally, it was nice. I've never been to Nashville before, so it was just one of those where going there and kind of seeing it for the first time is like, okay, this is cool. But me, I'm not a huge city guy. I'm I was much more comfortable and much happier just being tucked away in the cabin, or going around the little towns and stuff that were around there. We ended up stopping into like the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. That was really cool. Really like that. It was really kind of kitschy though. It was really kind of touristy. If you ever been to that area, it's just one of those where it's very touristy. So it kind of reminds me of like I mean, without actually been there, like a lot of bright lights and just like a lot of things, the nightlife going on. Kind of reminds me of like a little Vegas kind of thing. It's just really kind of meant to draw people in there. You got Dollywood right there. You've got all sorts of just all sorts of stuff that you can do around there. But yeah, we ended up going to see the lights there in town, which was really cool because they had this little park pathway that lined the river, and all along this little path they had everything set up with a bunch of lights, so you're just able to walk out in the path, and you're going through these large tunnels and archways full of Christmas lights and just all sorts of stuff. It was just really kind of a cool little setup. It was really, really nice to see. Let's see. Why does it keep reverting back to top chats? I don't want top chats. Here, I'm going to test something just real quick. Because some reason... And if I could actually type instead of just ham-fisting the... Here we go. Okay. Perfect. Alright, but yeah, so we ended up seeing all the lights that they had set up right there in town. What else did we end up doing? It was actually really cool to kind of go and see that, because they had along this path towards I believe it's towards the south side of the city, down into Gatlinburg. There's a park there called Patriots Park, and we ended up just kind of walking around and taking in the sights, and they had a bunch of really nice stuff set up there for like for Christmas and whatnot. It was all kind of patriotic in theme, hence Patriot Park. And they had like a display for each sector of the military, one for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They had Coast Guards, just it was all like the symbols, but it was all done out in lights and they're like medallions, kind of thing. It was really, really cool to see. It was really nice and kind of inspiring to see that. You don't often get to see that kind of display, and especially where I'm around. There's a lot of I feel like I'm really going slow with this thing. Just dawned on me, I'm only going 4 miles an hour. eh. But yeah, it was really nice because we were able to just see the lights, hang out there in town. When we wanted to go into town, we were able to hang out at the cabin. We were able to hang out at the cabin, or when we wanted to hang out at the cabin, we went for walks. It was just really nice because we got to go with the whole family kind of thing. Took my wife and daughter. My daughter, holy smokes, did she do fantastic! I was so thrilled with how well she did because we drove. We ended up driving there, and she's 2, and she made it the whole way. Wasn't fussy, didn't get upset. Just one of those that she just was an absolute champ. I was absolutely thrilled with how well that she did. And not only that, but it was one of those where, um, you know, several months ago, as many people are familiar with the channel, I went on another vacation where we flew, and she did fantastic there too. So it's just one of those, just a real proud papa moment kind of thing. So being able to go up to Tennessee, which is about 11-12 hour drive from where I'm at here, and she took it like a champ. We made stops along the way so she could get out, stretch her legs, run around, and do all that stuff. But it was just one of those, it was just nice. It was just really, really nice to kind of just get away, unplug, get away from the kind of hustle and bustle and grind of, of the work, and, dealing with all the technology in our face, because we're out in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have, good, steady, reliable internet and all that stuff. So it was just one of those, we only hopped on our phones when we absolutely had to, kind of thing. And when we absolutely had to have some kind of technology or something, we'd just drive in the town kind of thing. So it just made it, kind of disconnect from all the hustle and bustle. It was really nice. I really, really liked it. Let's see. Adrian, hey, how's it going? Chat is working. Yes, awesome. Glad to see that. Yeah, for some reason, just wasn't sure if chat was working. It just, for some reason, the channel keeps switching from live chat to top chat, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna nod and smile as I typically do and just go from there. But yeah, I mean, what else we ended up doing? Oh, that's right. So we ended up going there with some family outside of my immediate family, and we ended up doing a kind of secondary Thanksgiving dinner, because we ended up leaving the day after Thanksgiving. And the family that we met, they didn't actually end up doing anything for Thanksgiving until we decided, hey, we're gonna, get all this stuff to do a Thanksgiving meal. Would you all want to? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We kind of had to miss out on Thanksgiving this year, so it really was nice to be able to just, take a day. I mean, it was several hours. It wasn't the whole day like we were cooking or anything like that. And it was just kind of like a mini Thanksgiving, with family. So it was really nice to to be able to do that. And like I said, we don't get to see them that often because they live up in Michigan. So being able to do that was really, really nice, and just absolutely loved spending some time with them and hanging out and whatnot. There we go. Now let's set the worker off so we can actually start working on some other things. I think that should be enough boundary to let them do their thing. There we go. Something like that. Perfect. Let's go back to the shop. But yeah, so my wife, she ended up making a really beautiful turkey with, stuffing, the kind of, she does this like sage sausage stuffing that's, is so good. What else we did? Homemade cornbread, and what else did we do? Oh, I made green bean casserole and just just the staples, the whole Thanksgiving staples. And it was just really nice to be able to, to have a really nice kind of get together and meal with the family that I don't often get to see. So it was really fun to be able to do. And everyone ate themselves silly. I think I ended up passing out about 10 minutes after I was done eating because of the turkey. How that turkey takes it out of you, kind of thing. But let's see, what else did we end up doing while we were there? Trying to think. It's amazing at how special things like that just kind of run together, and your head just kind of combines them all into like one kind of thing, if that makes sense. It like it just the week went by, felt like way too fast. But then again, I was, I'm happy to be home and back, because the unfortunate part, the only bad thing that I could say about the whole experience is the beds. The beds were absolute rock hard mattresses, and it was so uncomfortable for me to sleep. But I didn't really sleep that well the whole time there, which was fine. I mean, there are certainly worse things to have happen to you while on vacation than having a rough mattress kind of thing. I need to turn that down. There we go. But yeah, the cabin we stayed in was absolutely gorgeous. It was a let me think. It was a 1, 2, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, with a beautiful loft, a back porch. It was built on a mountainside, so it was just really kind of tucked out in the middle of nowhere. It was a little dicey for my family that came, because they ended up driving their car, and the roads back there can get a little squirrely. For anybody who's ever been, out in the backwoods in Tennessee and in that whole area, if you don't have a car that's, built for the conditions of the road, you're not going to get around too easy. And there was plenty of evidence on those roads of people just either not paying attention or not having the proper equipment for that set of driving. And yeah, there was guardrails just completely crushed and driven through, um, and there's it's the kind of driving, again, if you've never driven in that area, it's the kind of driving where on one side you have certain destruction, because there's the side of a hill or a mountain, as I'd like to say, um, and then on the other side there's certain death, because there's a giant hill, slash mountain, and depending on where you're going off, you're gonna, like, what is it, Thelma and Louise it right over the side of the cliff, and whee, and have enough time to scream and take a breath, kind of thing, on the way down. So it's a bit nerve-wracking at times, because you got the winding, twisting, turning roads. And the route that we took up there was really kind of wild, because the drive that we went was on this back road that was kind of through the state park. And in this park there was all sorts of like turnoffs and kind of places for you to pull off to the side of the road and be able to take pictures and do all that kind of stuff there. So it was just one of those where you had people from all over the country, and from what we were seeing, all over the world, coming to these little turnoffs and stopping points and whatnot. And on these particular, I don't want to call them side streets. They were just like little pull-offs. Like, you would just pull off to the side of the road, and there was, some of them were bigger than others because they had like parking and whatnot. But on these particular areas, they were just people from all over the world. And like I've said, with driving around here in Florida, you get so many different types of driving styles that people, kind of adapt and do what it is that they're used to wherever they're from, and what they're accustomed to. Well, this kind of same thing went around that area. Is, you got so many people from so many different walks of life that their driving styles all clashed. And I cannot tell you the number of times on this one road where people are just pulling out in front of me or just not paying attention. And again, you've got certain destruction because you're going to plow into the side of the mountain, and on the other side, certain death. So it's one of those, you've really got to keep your head on a swivel kind of thing, because if you don't, you're going for a long ride. And you just, it's scary. It's absolutely terrifying. So getting up there was, a rather exciting, we'll use that word, exciting trip, but was well worth it. Was well worth it. I would highly recommend it. I would definitely go back and do that again. It's one of those that if you can afford, just renting a place and being away, like being out in the middle of nowhere, and you have the vehicle to get up there and get up there safely, some kind of either all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, at least in the area I was in, it's one of those that it was absolutely worth it. And the weather was just absolutely gorgeous. There was either 1 or 2 days where it was just rainy kind of thing, but those are the days that we just decided, you know what, we're just going to hang out at the cabin. We're just going to hang out and relax and have fun. Ended up working on a bunch of puzzles while we were there. Especially in the evening when my daughter went to bed kind of thing, we ended up putting her down, and once she was asleep, we all went out into the kitchen and just gathered around the table, us adults, and just started putting together puzzles and stuff, and it was just fantastic. We ended up visiting a few of the kind of I gotta remember how to get up there. We ended up visiting some of the shops, and they in that area. They have these flea markets, and we ended up going to one flea market. It was okay, but then we ended up, oh wait a minute, I think I went the wrong way, or wait, or did I? Well, you know what, we're gonna see. But we ended up going to a flea market, and it was okay. I mean, it was just basically, it was like I don't know, maybe an oversized yard sale. It's probably the best way I could put it. It wasn't a lot of really good stuff to really, kind of draw you in and keep your attention kind of thing. But we went to another one, and this other one was absolutely huge, and we ended up getting all sorts of stuff. I ended up purchasing a new shirt that they made right there in the stall that they were all set up in, which I thought that was really cool. I've seen those stores before where you could just kind of go up and have a shirt, you point to it, and it's like, I want that one in this size, and they'll just, grab the graphic, throw it on there, do the heat press to where it just, sticks right onto the shirt, and then they're done kind of thing. But I've seen those before, but I've never done it kind of thing. But this is the first time where I was like, you know what? I like this shirt. I like the graphic that's on it. I'm going to check it out and see, and see kind of thing. And it was dirt cheap. It was like $10 for a shirt. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it for $10. So, yeah, it was awesome. Custom shirt. What else did we get? Oh my goodness, I ended up getting a whole bunch of jerky where Yeah, I'm a big jerky fiend. I love me some jerky, and so much so that bought a dehydrator, and I make it myself quite often. But there are times where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and buy it just to see what kind of flavors and stuff and whatever kind of cool stuff. Oh, that's something else we ended up doing too. Um, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this, but there's and this is going to sound weird until I kind of get into it a bit more. Um, there's a gas station in it's in the South. They might have it more than just the South, but I know for certain it's in Georgia and Tennessee with certainty. Where else, I'm not sure, but it's a gas station called Buc-ee's, and what it is imagine a gas station where the store itself is the size of a Walmart, and the fuel section, the gas pumps and all that, is probably about 100 pumps or so. It's absolutely massive. I've never even heard or seen of this before. I mean, I've driven past them, but I didn't know any better about them, kind of thing. But I mean, they've got all sorts of like merchandise inside the store. They got merchandise. They've got food. They've got, you know, things that you can just purchase, like a normal gas station, like, chips and pops and, things like that. But they'll sit there and actually like make your food to order kind of stuff, like a Wawa. Um, they've got like freshly made popcorns and roasted nuts and sugar coated nuts and just all sorts of just stuff. Well, they had an entire wall that was just dedicated to like their store brands of jerky. It was just a massive wall of it, and it's like, okay, I'll give it a try. Why not? One of those that you know I'm on the road, I could use a snack kind of thing, so I ended up getting a couple bags of jerky, and I tell you what, it was actually really good. I was actually really surprised. Um, yeah, it was just like I said, just an absolute blast. Had a fantastic time when I was up there, and then to switch gears and to get away from the whole uh, the good. I'm gonna talk about a bit of the bad. Holy smokes! So again, people who are familiar with the channel and have watched the most recent episode put out for the Let's Play, episode 3. If there's anybody out there in the audience right now that's listening to this, let me know if you've seen that episode and what you think about it, because it was, in my opinion, it was the most it was the most error-ridden episode I'd ever made to date. And not even necessarily error-ridden through my own personal fault kind of thing. I mean, the one error that I had that I will wholeheartedly, say was my fault, was the loss of the recordings at the very beginning. So I had recorded it in chunks. So what had happened was, as I'm sitting there recording the first bit, and I bought the tractor, I bought the forage pickup, I bought so much stuff right there at the beginning, and I'm sitting there recording. All of a sudden, I think what had happened is my hard drive was full. I didn't delete all my old videos up until that point. So when all of a sudden it reached the maximum capacity of the hard drive space, all of a sudden, boom, it shuts down, throws me an error and says, sorry, you've reached your capacity. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not a big deal. I'll just stop the recording and check out the clip, and I'll pick it up and delete from there. Nope. Because it reached the maximum capacity, and it didn't end the recording properly, it actually errored out and corrupted the file. So everything I had done prior to where episode 3 actually starts in the edited version, everything I had up until that point was gone. So didn't show me purchasing anything, didn't show me having any of the any of the forage wagons, any of the work that I'd done up until that point. It was just all gone. So that was the start of the terrible stuff that was going on for episode 3. Jody, hey, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Oh, day is going fantastic. It was my first day back at work today, so that was kind of a bummer, but it was one of those where I was actually able to kind of keep my head down, focus on, catching up on things and whatnot. Other than that, just been hanging out with the family this afternoon after work and just relaxing. So far it was a really good day. Watching a movie tonight, Home Alone. Oh no. Which movie you watching? Hopefully something real good. The missus out and about tonight, hanging out. Let's see. So anyways, back to the the issues with episode 3. As like I said, anybody who's seen the episode up until this point, I discussed in great detail as to what happened throughout this episode. So, because of the update from Cavalier Roy, I had spoken to Cavalier Roy, and he said specifically, "Hey, if your product type is not out of the silo after the update, then it's going to delete," kind of thing. So make sure that you take out any of the products that is not explicitly listed in the change log that he was able to provide to us during our last live stream. It was really awesome of him to do that, by the way, because I would have not paid attention to that. I would have just lost it. I ended up losing it anyways, but that's beside the point. So I ended up taking out all my parsnips and putting it out on the floor by the horse barn. Ooh, excuse me. Hiccups. Put it on the floor by the horse barn. And did the update, because as far as I was aware, we're all good. Not an issue. I squirreled away the stuff that I didn't need. Well, I got on there. All my parsnips are gone. All of them were gone. So, oh, oh my goodness, Jody, I'm sorry. I thought you meant that you were home alone by yourself. Oh no. It's been a pretty good day so far for me. My wife went to the doctor and everything's still going really good. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear it. The first Home Alone movie. Oh my goodness. Sorry, bud. I thought you meant that you were home by yourself and watching a movie. Oh my goodness. That was really funny, buddy. Well, I'm glad I made you laugh. I made myself laugh pretty good there, too. But, anyways, so yeah, I ended up losing out on all the parsnips. So, because I lost on the parsnips, I was like, okay, well, I might as well just play it up. I'll say there's a thief, out there who stole my, that stole my parsnips, all 23,000 liters of them. Well, that's when I decided, well, I need to do some kind of, root crop for the horses, or else they're not going to have the product that they need in order to be at 100% productivity kind of thing. So I wanted to get that back up and get them going. Oh man, my favorite Christmas movie, by far, hands down, is A Christmas Story. That is by far my favorite. It's one that I gotta watch every single year on Christmas Day when opening gifts. That's yeah, that is by far and away is one of the most iconic Christmas movies out there, I think. Um, Outside of that, so my family, my wife and I specifically have a tradition. So what we tend to do is we have like the couple of days leading up to Christmas Day, we'll watch, several Christmas movies, starting with typically Die Hard. We'll start by watching Die Hard like several days before Christmas. Then we'll move on to something like The Nightmare Before Christmas or um, uh, oh, why is my mind blanking? Um, anyways, uh, all that like several days leading up to Christmas. Well, then the day before Christmas, so Christmas Eve, we'll sit there and we'll watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and we'll watch that the night before Christmas. Once everything's kind of calmed down and settled down for the evening, we'll all go to bed, and then when we get up the next day, we'll be, ripping up presents and all that, and we'll have Christmas Story just playing there in the background. And that's. Did this finish or not? What's going on? Yeah, it did finish. I just missed the memo. Boop boop. There we go. Oh yeah, look at him go. Just still chugging away at 4 miles an hour. Um, but yeah, we'll be sitting there Christmas morning, listening to basically listening to it in the background with occasionally looking up and kind of watching. But yeah, there's just so many iconic like scenes in that. One of my favorite scenes in that um, is when the boys are getting picked on there in the alley, and and the little brother Randy gets pushed over, and the narrator's sitting there talking over what's going on. Randy laid there like a slug. It was his only defense. Oh, and he's all bundled up tight. And he's like, what does he say? The narrator, he was like a he was like a tick getting ready to pop, because the mother would wrap him up so tight in like 100 different layers, and he couldn't put it. I can't put my arms down. Oh my goodness. Such a great movie. And then the old man, now that I'm getting older, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm relating more and more to the old man than I am to Ralphie. And because I grew up watching that movie, for years. I mean, basically my whole life. I can remember just having it playing in the background, because it was always one of those movies that, when we had television, cable, it was always on cable. So you just sit there and watch it in the background kind of thing when open up presents Christmas morning. And yeah, yeah, it's been a tradition of mine. It'll continue to be a tradition. That's the movie every single year without failure. I can let National Lampoon go. I can let Nightmare Before Christmas. I can let Die Hard. I can let all those movies just go, like a year. Like I could skip it kind of thing and not skip a beat. But I would feel lost without Christmas Vacation. That's the one movie I've got to. Let's see. I'll come and get them off your farm. What's your favorite? Let's see. That's a classic Christmas movie, one of the best of all time. Yes, I absolutely love it. I watched a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies. Very good to watch. Yes. Yes, get the leg lamp. So what's funny is my wife here, what was it? I think just a couple of days ago had ordered a thing from Amazon, and it was a puzzle because for some reason while we were in Tennessee we decided to do tons of puzzles. I think we did like 3 or 4 different puzzles while we are up there, because like I said, every single night it was just the adults and the family that we ended up meeting up there. They ended up buying a puzzle, just out of the random. kind of thing. I think we went up to a shop and they had puzzles there of Tennessee, of all the kind of local Tennessee stuff. And we ended up putting it together like overnight. Like we were up until like 3 in the morning just playing with this puzzle kind of thing. Well, my wife, when we were driving back, she's like, "Do you mind if I spend X amount of money to get something?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, yeah, what? Of course. What are you gonna get?" And she's like, "Oh, I want to get a puzzle with the Christmas story." So she found a 1,000-piece Christmas story puzzle, and she ended up ordering it, but they ended up sending her the wrong puzzle. So she's absolutely devastated. She's just so bummed out that she's not going to have her Christmas story puzzle because she wanted to put it together. But it is of the leg lamp. Um, this puzzle, and we've got like Christmas ornaments of the leg lamp. We've got just all sorts of silly little things. uh, my wife, she absolutely loves those little Christmas villages, and one of the decorations is of the Christmas story house. The little miniatures, and in the window has the little Christmas story lamp. And it's just it's absolute, it's really cool. But actually, a really funny story. I've actually been to the house where Christmas Story was filmed, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever been through. So the Christmas Story house is actually located in Cleveland, Ohio. And my wife, one year, we were driving up to Michigan. She's like, "How would you like to go to Cleveland, Ohio?" And it's like, I mean, I don't want to. Because again, I'm not a big city guy. I don't like cities. She's like, "Oh, but come on, let's go to Cleveland." And it's like, why do you want to go to Cleveland of all places? Why Cleveland? What's so special about that? She's like, "But I want us to go to Cleveland. Can we go to Cleveland?" And I'm like, "Okay, okay." There's obviously something afoot. There's something that she's wanting specifically in Cleveland. So she's like, "Okay, well, go here." And she plugs it into the GPS and whatnot. And she's like, "Okay, drive." So I'm like, "Okay." So I start driving because she only put in an address. It didn't actually say the name of where we were going. And we get there, and it's just little like, it didn't look like the greatest of areas, the greatest of neighborhoods kind of thing. But we're driving around to it, and we get there, and it was just immediately, I knew exactly where we were as soon as I pulled onto the street. I'm like, "Oh no, are we at the Christmas Story house? Are we actually there?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're there." And she got so excited. She was just so, just little kid. She was just so thrilled with herself. I'm like, "No." And we end up going up to it, and we bought you can buy tickets, go inside the house, get a tour of it. They got everything all set up the way it was in the movie. Right across the street, they got this little kind of gift shop, and it's absolutely massive. I mean, in comparison to what it is, I mean, it's a movie about a family in what, the 40s, 50s, you know, going through Christmas woes kind of thing. It's one of those like, it's like a legitimate thing. And I guess the person who bought the property had fixed it up specifically to, you know, make it into the Christmas Story house, so it's like a museum kind of thing. And he actually bought the next door neighbor's house, the Bumpuses. He bought their house too, and he's renovating it now to make it more like the movie. But I tell you what, it was so wild being there, because I never realized it until after we were there. And I rewatched the movie, and it's wild, the things that your brain just kind of ignores. But in the background, when you're looking at the streets and all that stuff, there's one particular camera angle of the house where it actually shows like the backyard. And it's a really tiny yard. It's insanely tiny. But you look in the backyard and you'll see smokestacks. It butts right up against this giant industrial park. It's massive. I never noticed this before, but you can actually see the steam and smoke rising from the stacks, and you can actually see the stacks in the background. And it wasn't until I was actually in the yard when I was like, Whoa, that's something I never know. And then I went back home as soon as we got back home. I kicked on the movie. I'm watching it, and you'll see it right away at the very beginning of the movie. You'll see just how massive this industrial park is, and just the street itself. Like everything was so much smaller than I would have kind of imagined, kind of thing. I need to figure out. Uh, I guess I could do sunflowers. Let's see. Do field 9. Where's field 9? Where are you? Car 54, where are you? Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat. I'm coming to get the park snakes off the farm. Park snakes. Sorry, bud. I'm really confused by that one. Did your wife have a good day? Yeah, she had a fantastic day. Actually, just dawned on me, I need to text her just really quick. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see. So, where am I? Where's 9? There's 9. Okay, how do I get there from here? So if I follow the road this way, where is number 9? Is this it? This is it. So here, I need to go to this little, okay, this little side road here. Where does this come out at? Okay, yep, I know exactly where I'm going now. Yeah, going back. So yeah, my wife, she had a really, really good day today. She, again, she worked just like I did. But after work, we ended up going out to the store for a little bit. We had to go and pick up a couple of things. But yeah, just a nice little day, nice quiet. Got a lot of stuff done today. And actually, that leads me to another story. So, as well, actually, let me kind of put a pin in what I was saying before with the issues with episode 3. So, oops, cut that a little too quick. So, I was talking about how all the parsnips were gone. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna go do a contract, for root crops. And lo and behold, a root crop contract for sugar beets was available. So I'm like, yes, I'll have that as root crops. That has to qualify, right? Right? Wrong. Cannot utilize any of the sugar beets for the horses. So the horses are all gonna be without root crops for the moment, which that's a bummer. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not a huge deal. Oh, you stole my crops. Oh no. Oh goodness. Well, I'll have to get them from you later then. But so anyways, after figuring out that didn't work, I was kind of starting to wrap things up and do some delivering for the final bits of the sugar beets. And again, as people are aware, they would have heard the demon sounds that were coming from my where am I going? Is this, where did I go? And I drove too far? No, okay, I just gotta make it right. Okay, whew. This is the field that I need. There we go. So, anyways, people would have heard the demon sounds that came from my from the man cave where I do all my recordings. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there and selling off all the excess, and was trying to stop, you know, with whatever leftovers I had available to me. All of a sudden, all sorts of mayhem occurs, and I've got headphones on, so I don't have any kind of background noise that's gonna, you know, kind of distract me and take my attention away, kind of thing. Because it's, you know, unfortunately, the area that I live in, there's plenty of neighbors who will, you know, at all hours of the night, fire up their, you know, modified engines, and, you know, sit there, rev their engines for, you know, 20 minutes at a time. So I've got to put on headphones to make sure that it just blocks it out. Well, this was so loud, it not only got picked up on the microphone, which is, you know, halfway across the room from where I, you know, sit and do my actual viewing of the television. I can actually hear it over my headphones. So it's one of those that I'm just listening to this popping, crackling, and it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So I rip off my headphones. The audio is still the audio, because that's the only thing that's being picked up at that time, is still being recording. And I'm like, okay, the screen on my television goes black, and just everything, I'm smelling that distinct, you know, burnt electronic smell, that ozone kind of smell. I'm like, oh great, this is fantastic. So I go over and I unplug the television set, and I give it a few minutes to kind of clear out and, you know, no longer smell like, you know, whatever that smell is. And I'm sitting there just like, okay, well, what do I do now? You know, I don't have a means to be able to view what I'm doing. Well, then it occurred to me, it's like, well, I mean, I can at least finish out the episode by looking at my computer, which is recording, it's capturing whatever the Xbox is putting out, which was good. At least I was able to finish out the episode. So that was awesome. But then I was without a TV, you know. But I want to give a special shout out and thank you to my wife. Sweetheart, I love you with all my heart and soul. Thank you so much for all the sacrifice that you go through all the time, all year round. You made the new TV possible, and I just want to thank you very, very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. So what ended up happening after all that was said and done, I went to my wife and told her, it's like, hey, got a big problem. My TV just broke. And obviously she was bummed out and disappointed. But she knew that it needed to be replaced. It's the one thing that I have that, one, it allows me to do the channel. You know, without a TV, I have no way of being able to see what I'm doing besides my computer screen, which is, as I tried to describe it, you know, maybe 5 inches wide by maybe 4 inches tall. It's an incredibly, I can't even see the details of the numbers. That's how small it is. So it's just one of those that wasn't going to be a long-term viable option. And I'm sitting there explaining it to her, and she's like, okay, find a TV that you'll like and that'll work for you, and we'll figure out something. Well, what she ended up doing, and I've just discussed this on the channel before, she does this application called Ibotta, and other applications similar to this, where you go to the grocery store, you go to Walmart, you go to Publix, or you go to whatever grocery store you have in your local area, and they will do these kind of coupons kind of thing, to where you make a purchase, you know, at the store, and then by purchasing it, they give you money back based on what you purchased. Well, she's been doing this, and she does this, you know, she has been doing this for years, but every single year what she does is she'll sit there and squirrel away all these points for these apps that she gets. and then she'll use them to eventually redeem for either gift cards or whatever. And she normally uses them for like gift cards to like either Walmart or uh, Amazon, whatever the case may be, to be able to help alleviate some of the burden for Christmas, kind of thing. So we can go out of our way and get really nice gifts for the kids, for the family, and all that stuff. Without having to dig too deep into our own pocket, kind of thing. Well, she had $250 worth of points that she had been squirreling away all year long, and she ended up letting me use them or $250 worth of points. She let me use them to purchase a new TV. Um, so yeah, now we've got the new TV all set up, and yeah, it's all thanks to her. It's all thanks to her and her being so kind of thrifty and all that stuff. So without her, I wouldn't be streaming tonight. Without her, I wouldn't be. I mean, let's face it. Without her, I wouldn't have a channel. Flat out, plain and simple. It's through her love and support that I'm here doing what I'm doing now. So again, thank you, sweetheart, so much. I love you. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, it's one of those that after that kind of got addressed and we were able to go out and get a TV, ended up going to the store, getting one, got it all set back up, kind of thing. And yeah, so thankfully it's working. It's doing what it needs to do, what I want it to do, kind of thing. And yeah, it's good. It's one of those. Unfortunately, you can't get anything that isn't a smart TV nowadays. Which, I mean, me personally, I don't need or want a smart TV. I'd rather just purchase the component like a Fire Stick or Chromecast to be able to make it into a smart TV. But I also have an Xbox, so I can just use the apps through the Xbox, kind of thing. So having a smart TV just really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's not really useful to any large degree. So it's one of those where because you really can't find a not smart TV anymore, I just ended up getting it. And now because they're more the standard, the smart versions of the TVs have come down significantly in price. So it's not like it was before when I was purchasing TVs and whatnot. The last TV I purchased wasn't a smart TV, but I got that TV for the same price as I got this TV, and it being a smart TV. So it's one of those that I used to get dumb TVs, spend the $20-$30 for the little fob or device to make it a smart TV, and it was good to go, kind of thing. But yeah, it's not the way the world is nowadays, and now you basically have to purchase TVs with the smart built into it. So it is what it is. Let's see. Jody says, real good, buddy, have a good time anyways. Yeah, absolutely, Jody. Hopefully you're still there and hanging out with us tonight. If not, I hope you enjoy Home Alone. That is also a really great movie. Really enjoyed that one. That's definitely on the Christmas rotation as to see. But yeah, no. So like I said, Jody, I hope you're out there because I actually have a really special announcement to make. So this has been one that we've been kind of keeping under our hats for a little while here, and it's been really thrilling and exciting to chat with you about your wife and what you two are going through with the pregnancy. Really happy for you, but the special announcement that I wanted to make is my wife's pregnant as well. So it's been really hard to kind of bite my tongue this whole time and be able to not say anything up until this point. We've been holding off, making sure that we told all the proper people that we wanted to tell first before we made any like public announcements. So yeah, we have number 2 on the way. She's what is she? I think she's 12 or 13 weeks right now. So yeah, baby number 2. Had to go the IVF route again. Obviously, this is the second one that we've done through IVF, and it's a little baby girl. So we're having another girl, and couldn't be more excited, more thrilled about it. So we're just yeah. It was it was really cool when you said that your wife was pregnant and was going through all that stuff. It was really difficult not to say, "Oh, that's awesome! We're pregnant too," and kind of thing. So it is one of those where, yeah, we're really excited, really happy, and we're looking forward to, what life brings with number 2 on the way. But like I said, I'm really glad for you, Jody. I'm really glad for you and your wife. That everything's still going good so far, and keep you in our thoughts, and wishing nothing but the best for you. But yeah, so going back to the I think that was everything with number 3. That was all just kind of all wonky. So got topped off with the TV. Let me think. Was that everything? I think that was everything. Take a quick drink real quick. Oh, much better. Oh, you are still there. Awesome. But yeah, was really thrilled about about how you were sitting there telling us how your wife's pregnant, and got to speak with your wife a few times as well. And like I said, I just wanted to shout out, like we're my wife's pregnant too, and I've been wanting to say it so long, but we had discussed it, and we were like, no, we're gonna hold off and telling the kind of general public until later on. So yeah, how far along is your wife? Oh, I've always got to hang out with my buddy. I'm glad to hear that. How far along is your wife right now? Just curious, because my wife's got to be like right about the same ballpark as yours right now. They've got to be like within a couple of weeks. Let's see. So let's go grab the tractor. Oh, come on. These Volvo tractors are they're nice. I like them. They're a good mod, but they're always like really slow to kind of get up to speed, especially if they're dealing with a hill of any sort. Oh. Let's not run into. There we go. Let's see. I'm super happy for you and your wife. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world. How long for issue? So yeah, like I said, she's going on about 13 weeks right now. She's into her 3rd month right now, so it's about 13 weeks, I believe. But yeah, so if you remember several streams ago, I had mentioned how there was one stream in particular I was really kind of bummed out, really kind of was saying how a lot of bad things were happening at the moment, and just wasn't willing to talk about, wasn't willing to elaborate. what was going on. Well, to finally let everybody know, it was to do with the pregnancy. My wife, uh, several weeks ago, it was about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks, no, 3 weeks. Um, she started bleeding very heavily, um, and we ended up going to the doctor, to the OB doctor, and we were just beside ourselves. We were expecting the worst and whatnot, and we got to the doctor, and they did the ultrasound, and he's like, nope, everything looks fine, baby looks fine, all that stuff. Um, so it was one of those, when I'd gotten onto the stream, I was just reeling from that day. Just everything was just the torrent of emotions that my wife had gone through and myself had gone through that day. Um, we were thinking, oh man, we're losing it. We're not not sure how to handle it. And then all of a sudden, everything was fine. That there was uh, nothing wrong with the baby, and everything was fine. And eventually, it cleared up. Um, so it was one of those that it was just that particular day was really bad. But now everything's in the clear. We're going going strong. Baby has a great strong heartbeat. Um, so yeah, it was just one of those where, um, yeah, that particular day, I wanted to offer the clarity and elaborate as to what was happening on that particular stream. But I just wasn't able to talk about it at that point in time. But no, right now everything's going great. Everything is fantastic, and like I said, could not be happier. So it's one of those that we're just absolutely thrilled. Tell her congratulations for her and you and your family. Absolutely, I will absolutely. God bless you with another beautiful baby. Yes, yes, and bless you all as well. Like I said, it's the greatest thing that I've ever done was become a father. Um, I I cannot emphasize it enough that um, it's an amazing thing to go through, to be a parent, to be a father, to be to have a child to look after, and to them you are their world. And it's wild, and how all of a sudden your world just becomes theirs. Not that it becomes theirs, that your world is all of a sudden shifts so dramatically that they are your world. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's one of those where my way of thinking has changed so much over the past 2 years that she is my number one. And now that we have baby number two on the way, they are my number ones, kind of thing. And making sure that they're safe, that they're protected, that they're healthy, they're happy, they've got all the things they want, all the things they need, kind of thing. It's just, one of those where when everything is said and done, just, yeah, it's just absolute game changer for the better, for the better. It was one of those that I don't want to say I was terrified. I was scared, of the what ifs. What if something goes wrong? What if they don't like me? What if this? What if that? It just so many things that kind of runs through your head as you get to that point, and then all of a sudden it just washes away. It just, none of that stuff that you worried about prior to being a parent mattered. Nothing. It's one of those, like, I sat there and thought about it one time. It's like, why was I so worried? Why was my mindset focused on this rather than, how awesome and how blessed that we are, kind of thing. And it was just one of those where at the end of the day, I was just dumbfounded and how my mindset and just way of thinking changed the moment she came to the world. Let's see. Yes, absolutely. So she actually went to the doctor. It was Monday. Um, and yeah, everything's going fine. Everything's fantastic. The doctor, they were doing the belly ultrasound, and the doctor, he looks at my wife and he's looking at the ultrasound of the little baby there, and he's like, "Ooh, you must have drank a lot of caffeine this morning." And she's like, "No, I'm actually extremely tired. I hadn't had a drop this morning." He's like, "Really? Because your little one here, she's just a moving and a wiggling." And sure enough, she's all over the place. She's bouncing around in there and just having the time of her life. And he's like, "That's amazing. She's moving around. She's got a good strong heartbeat. All the good signs." Kind of thing. So he was just making a comment. It's like, "Oh, well, you must have had a lot of caffeine this morning because she's active and up and about," kind of thing. And just my wife, she's like, "No, I wish I had the caffeine, but no, it's just one of those where she just the look on her face was just kind of like sheer disappointment. She's like, "No, I miss caffeine." And it was like, I'm sorry that you have to, you know, forego, so much, but just another reason why, I thank her and love her so is, you know, and anybody who has gone through um, their wife being pregnant um, will absolutely understand what I'm about to say. And for those who haven't experienced it, you sit there as a man, you sit there on the sidelines and you watch all the things that they go through, from the morning sickness to the uncomfortableness, the cramps, um, the bloating, the whole nine yards. There's a torrent of hormones and emotions and all these things that are happening to your wife or to your girlfriend, whatever, and it's just one of those where you you're just sitting there in awe. And me personally is one of those where I almost feel bad because there's nothing I can do, besides, either comfort her, give her a back massage, or, whatever. This is the second pregnancy she's had, and this pregnancy, she said that she is so nauseous with this pregnancy that she didn't really experience in the first pregnancy. So it was one of those that, seeing just how miserable she can be sometimes, and she'll sit there and tell you that, it's totally worth it. It's not, not a big deal, kind of thing. That in the end, it's all, gonna work out, kind of thing. Um, but it's one of those where, as I sit here and, and see her kind of going through all the things that she's going through, just leaves me kind of wishing that I could do more for her, kind of thing. But it's one of those that, I certainly can't carry the baby for her. So I try and do whatever it is I can to make sure that she's comfortable and that she's got whatever she needs or whatever she wants. So it's just one of those, like I said, as a man, seeing your wife or significant other going through all this, it's rough, it's hard, but it's certainly not anywhere near as hard as, what they're going through. So it's a wild experience. It's really wild to kind of to go through and to watch it in practice, or not in practice, but in reality, not just kind of just hear it secondhand from somebody like myself, kind of thing. This is going to the grain elevator. Where is that? Oh. Oh, it's that, yeah, it's the place tucked away back here. Okay, okay, I know where that's at. Let's see. Jody says that's really good to hear. I bet she's really, really pregnant again. Yes, so, it's funny because, when she had that little episode, um, doctor put her on, like, modified bed rest, like 3 days of firm bed rest, no doing nothing at all, and then after the 3 days, she could do, I think he called it like a modified bed rest, where she was basically able to, do very light activity, but she couldn't pick up our daughter from like from the ground or anything. She had to have me grab her and hand her to her. She is able to hold her, but no like strenuous strain and whatnot. And my wife, she loves to exercise and to work out and things like that. She'll go out just about every morning and go to the gym and run on the treadmills and the ellipticals and things like that. So it was absolutely devastating to her, being put on bed rest, because that's like her own personal torture kind of thing. Not being able to go out and to kind of be active and whatnot. So it was just one of those that it was a real hard thing to watch, because she was sitting there and not being able to go out, not being able to do the things that she wanted to do, but rather just kind of laying there and just healing kind of thing. But in the end, she's like, it was worth kicking back and relaxing and doing all this, even though it sucked, because she wasn't able to keep up with her routine kind of thing. And I think that was the kind of biggest, devastation of all to her, is that, it really knocked her off her routine and being able to, kind of make sure that she wasn't, just kind of feeling so blah kind of thing. Because the way that she describes it to me is that she gets the kind of exhilaration from working out, that I guess they call it like a runner's high kind of thing. I don't know what that's like. I'm not as active like that as she is. She's doing something like that every single day. Me personally, I'm I tend to work around the house or the yard. Where am I going? I'm not in the right spot at all. This way. This way. Here we go. And not this one. I think it is this one. Alright, well, if we start seeing money, we'll hit the button. Okay, no money. I think it's what, like 800 or 700 liters. 300. Yeah, let's just sell it. Extra $500. Woo! Gonna break the bank on that one. And boop. There we go. But Jody says, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just one of those that just sitting back and watching is really difficult at times, because you don't know what it is that you can do, and you sit there and you try to, I don't want to say that you try and do everything for them, but you almost feel guilty that you can't do more kind of thing. At least that's the way I feel. You know, sometimes is I just wish there was more I could do for her, um, to help her out, especially when she's got the morning sickness going and all that stuff. Where is 106? 106. Where are you? Oh, there's 105. 107. Oh, 106. Okay, okay. Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do 106. Boop. There we go. But yeah, no, it's just been it's been a really wild ride here over the past, you know, several weeks. Um, you know, like I said, with her being pregnant and um, you know, the vacation that came up, and then the television and just all this stuff that's just been going on here lately. Just one thing after another, and oh dear, I have got to pay better attention about whether traffic is coming or not. Turn on the power of the sun. What was I saying? Sorry, I just trailed off there and got distracted by a drive. Oh, you know what? That's something else I wanted to talk about. I don't know if this was a intended, ooh, hey, car, intended consequence of the update or not, but before the update here on Maypole Farm, I used to be able to drive through the hedges and, you know, get from farm to farm, you know, relatively easy because you didn't have any collisions. But check this out. There's collisions now everywhere in the fence. And, I mean, it's fine, but I don't know if that, I don't recall reading that as part of the change log. I don't know, how much was that contract? Or the contract I'm working on now is 16,354, minus the leasing cost. But the one I was just on, the sunflower one, that was like a little over $1,000, not including the leasing costs. So, I mean, it's. Oh, yes. Okay. Whew. Wow, this is a big field. I wasn't expecting this. Boop boop boop. That. And then unfold. Lower. And here we go. Am I able to change the swath? Is there a swath on this? There is not, is there? Nope. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. But yeah, now there's collisions. Oh, I could have gone through the farm right there. There's collisions all around on all the fields and whatnot. The hedges, I should say. There's, yeah, it was just so many things I just wasn't expecting when the update came out. Like I said, the parsnips going missing, that's kind of a bummer. But, I mean, again, it's not a big deal. It's not the worst thing in the world kind of thing. I'll just have to either wait or I'll have to buy, you know, a root crop kind of thing. Now, what I'm curious about is, you know, I don't think, I know sugar beets wasn't able to be accepted, but I need to double check to see if maybe cut sugar beets could be accepted. Maybe that's the issue, is that it won't take whole sugar beets. Maybe see if potatoes can be used in that horse pasture. Who knows? It's just one of those that I'll have to test things out and see how they go, kind of thing. But worst case scenario, I'm not going to be able to have a fully productive horse until next season, kind of thing. Which, again, will suck, but not the worst thing in the world. Oh, hey, there's a thing. Those are things. George, George, George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. Oh, there's another. I'm finding all the trees. Who here remembers the remake of George of the Jungle with, oh, what's his name? Brendan Fraser. Who here remembers that movie? That was... I'm not going to say that was a good movie. I mean, it wasn't bad. There's certainly worse movies out there than George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser, but one of those that he definitely did early in his career, kind of thing. You know, he was just like, okay, just get me in front of a screen. I don't care. Let's see. Yes, Jody. You wish you could do more for them when they're pregnant. Yes, and here's the thing: is personally, I wish I could do more, just full sentence stop, kind of thing. There's so much that she does that, that's a real help around the house. You know, so for an example, she'll typically save a lot of the bulk cleaning for Fridays. We'll pick up throughout the week and make sure the house is cleaned and whatnot, but like the real deep kind of cleaning, she does on Fridays. And I tell her all the time, hey, if you need me to do something, feel free to let me know what it is that you need done. I will help you out, as best I can. But the problem is that, because she does it on Fridays, I'm working. I can't always just drop what it is I'm doing just to vacuum the house or wipe down the counter, kind of thing. I have to finish my obligations with work first, and then I can help, kind of thing. Well, it's one of those that, because she wants it done for, how do I say this? Because she wants it done for that specific point in time, she'll just go ahead and do it. She'll just work on it and get it done, kind of thing. And it's one of those that, again, I wish I could help. I wish I could, do more. Instead, I've just got other commitments that have to be taken care of. I can't go without without my job, kind of thing. One of those where be really difficult to do anything, well, be really difficult to do anything without having, the income from said job, kind of thing. YouTube is definitely nice, but it certainly isn't paying the bills. Definitely doing this for the fun, kind of thing. So definitely have to have the 9 to 5, or in my case the 8 to 5, in order to make sure that we keep the lights on, roof over our head, food in the belly, all that stuff. So and she's more than understanding. She gets it. She's like, hey, if you're able to do this, then that's fantastic. But if you can't do it by a certain time, then I'll go ahead and just do it, kind of thing, just to get it done. And it's like, okay, and whoa, what's happening here? You got a trailer behind you, don't you? I guess that works. Okay, I don't know what the story with that was. Just the AI is like, you know what? I don't care that you have an articulating, piece of equipment behind you. You're just gonna do it. I'm just gonna power through it. Never mind, that would more than likely snap all the linkages It certainly destroy all the powertrain that's on there, the drive shaft and all that stuff. And it might be a bit thick to shear through any of the major components. See, there we go again. But yeah, all those linkages that are hooked up to the 3-point, that's all busted and broken out. Who knows? That's a real good map play on Tarzan. Yes, that's a good movie too. Love that Georgia Jungle. Yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, it was one of those. It's one of those where the movie itself isn't like a masterpiece or anything like that, but it was good. It was, one of those that I haven't watched it in years, and I actually own it. I have it. I should kick it out one of these days, because why not? But yeah, it was one of those. I used to watch that way back in the day, and I actually had it for the longest time on. I think it was on VHS for the longest time. And let me see, when did that come out? When did that come out? Not now. Come on, IMDb, work with me here. George of Og, the Jungle of the. There it is, 1997. Holy smokes! So I would have been. If that came out in 97, I would have been. Is that 8th grade? I graduated in 2002. So I would have been a freshman in 98. So yeah, I would have been 7th grade. I would have been 7th grade at that point. So 98 would have been a freshman. It's 97. So yeah, I would have been 7th grade at that point. Holy smokes. Oh, hold on just 1 second. I will be right back. I am back. Oh, sorry about that. The missus was heading off to bed, so she was wishing me good night, and oh, see, there we go again. Just doing a thing with this tractor. What is this thing doing? Oh my goodness. Let me get the chat back on screen. There we go. Yes, a funny movie to watch. Absolutely. So, Jody, my wife said thank you. I told her that you said congratulations. In regards to the pregnancy, yeah. So she was actually asking a whole bunch of questions and whatnot. So that's why this this little break took a little bit longer. She was asking how your wife was doing. And I was filling her in and all that. But yeah, no, it's yeah, definitely a funny movie. Definitely, I gotta watch it again. What was the elephant's name? Was it Shep? Shep. I think it was Shep. What's funny is down here in Florida, and anybody who watches like police body cameras and stuff like that, like channels and stuff like that, that's dedicated to the police, there's a dog here in Florida who I think recently retired, but his name was Shep, and he's like famous down in Florida. Like he's got like T-shirts and all this stuff, like Shep Happens kind of stuff. It's really funny. Um, I think that was the name of the elephant in that movie. I've got to now. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll look that up later. Joey says, "Better family and your family is happy. Haven't had a grandchild. You haven't had a grandchild? No. So my so yeah, the family's absolutely thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. Very very happy. Oops, don't need that on anymore. Let's fold this all away. There it goes. That. So yeah, my father, he lives here on the property with us, and let's see, how can I cut through here? Maybe. Oh nope! Hey, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. You cannot contain me. I will find a route. I will escape. Escape. Funny, it's spelled the same way as escape. Oh, goodness. I don't know what is going on with me tonight. I've got movies on the brain right now. If anybody knows what that movie is from, feel free to throw that into the comments. Oh, goodness. Makes me realize sometimes I'm just a big child. It's okay, though. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm young at heart. There we go. Let's drop that there. Let's drop this here. And now we need to Ted. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's turn. Turn. Look at that. Work smarter, not harder. Now we can make one trip with both sets of equipment. There we go. So anyways, like I was saying, my father, he lives here with us on the property, and yeah, he gets to hang out with his granddaughter all the time, kind of thing. He'll come in at night every night, and just kind of come in, hang out. Because we'll like collect the mail and whatnot, and then he'll come in and get whatever mail is his, and he'll come in and hang out with our daughter and his granddaughter, and just have a good old time. And it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. He loves it because he gets to this way. Oh, follow the tracks. There we go. Now we're talking. Here, let's go here. Drop that, and go over here. We'll put this right there. Drop that, and perfect. Unfold. Yes, there we go. Now we're talking. Perfect. So yeah, so he lives here. He gets to hang out with her all the time, and it's just fantastic that he's able to spend so much time with her. And especially on my wife's side, she's got a really big family. So she's got how many? She's got 1, 2, 3. Was it 3 sisters, 2 brothers? Yes, three sisters and 2 brothers. So yeah, it's just one of those. Her coming from a big family. I'm an only child, so. going into that kind of family dynamic where you've got so many people that's interested in, in your life kind of thing, uh, was a pretty radical change for me. But it's great to see that she's got such, a great network of people who, are always going to be there for her, look out for her, kind of thing, and all that stuff. So I'm really, really happy and kind of blessed in that regard, kind of thing. Having such a close knit family as well is really nice. Just got that little springboard of a tedder, just boing, just flopping around everywhere. There we go. Let's see. Jody says, poor Irish and got a big family. Yeah, one of those that. Oh, God. No, don't miss it, don't miss it. There we go. One of those where, like I said, being an only child, yeah, I never had like brothers and sisters growing up, obviously, but it's one of those that now that I've married into a family with, the large kind of family dynamic, um, it's nice where, like my wife, she's got people that she can, rely on, you know, day or night, rain or shine kind of thing, and it's nice, in that regard. Um, there's obviously some flaws and some negatives about it, but I mean, for the most part, it's overwhelmingly positive, and I absolutely, love my in-laws. They're one of those where I know that if, you know poo really hit the fan, there would be, just a phone call away, kind of thing. So it's nice to know that that's there and that's available for us, kind of thing. Not being a rich man myself, kind of thing. It's nice to be able to have that family to, if something happened, kind of thing, to be able to fall back on. Ooh, I should probably do one more pass in this direction. Let's do one more in this direction. And that way it'll just give me a little bit of a buffer on this end. Just making some hay, some night hay. Going on the night hay. It is one of them nights. I don't know what is up with me tonight. There we go. Jody says, I bet your daughter is still happy to have a brother or a sister come. So we actually, because it's an IVF baby, we actually know the sex of the baby, and it's a girl. So she's gonna be a big sister coming up. So yeah, we're pretty ecstatic about it. It's one of those that we're able to give our daughter what we hope is, her best friend, kind of thing. For the rest of her life, kind of thing. And I know there's definitely siblings and kids out there who, don't end up either liking their siblings either at the time or permanently, kind of thing. But it's still one of those that hopefully that we'll be able to instill in them that sense of family where, whoops, wrong button. That sense of family where they'll always be be with each other, kind of thing, where they'll always want to be around each other and want to, you know, instill that closeness is essentially what I'm saying. You know, hopefully we can do good enough as parents to let them know that that's a kind of an important thing to have. You know, friends can come and go and whatnot, but family, you know, should be there always, kind of thing, no matter what's going on in your life, kind of thing. So that's what we're hoping to be able to, you know, provide for her. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll let this chug along. There we go. Perfect. But no, I may have missed this, Jody, but how far along is your wife? I think I asked earlier, but then I either got distracted or I missed the answer. Um, like I said, I'm curious because my wife and your wife have to be like really, really close. Jody says, I love that Shelby Silverado truck mod. Yes, that is a nice mod. I was I was really happy when that one came out. Me personally, I'm a big Chevy fan. Um, I think I've mentioned this a couple of times, but growing up, my father, he owned a, what was it, a 68 Chevy Camaro SS, and yeah, from a very early age, he instilled into me the you know, the Chevys and whatnot. So I've always had kind of a passion for Chevrolet. Here recently, he owned a, was it a 95 or 96 Chevy Corvette. He recently sold that, and he sold the Corvette. He sold his house, and that's when he moved onto the property so he could be closer to his granddaughter and soon to be granddaughters. But yeah, it just from a very early age, and still to this day, he's you know, definitely instilled the Chevys. Unfortunately, I've owned far more Fords in my lifetime than I care to admit, but it's one of those. my I've got connections within Ford to get like the family discounts and whatnot, so I would take advantage of that when it came time to car shop. And unfortunately, I regretted just about every one of the cars I ever bought in the history of buying Fords. I had a 2006 Ford Ranger, and that car was a lease, and it started developing transmission issues very early on. I now own a 2012 Ford Fusion, and yeah, I absolutely hate that car. I cannot stand that car. It's one of those that I bought in a pinch. So to kind of tell the whole story, I had a Toyota Camry, and I was leasing that one, and that was when I was really younger, and was, oh, the leasings are great, you know, you get to drive it, and then you don't have to take care of it, you just change the oil, you're done, kind of thing. And the dealer I bought it from, or leased it from at the time, is like, oh, we'll give you the oil changes for free, you just bring it into the dealership. It's like, oh, I don't even have to deal with the oil, I just got to deal with the tires. So one of those where I was leasing vehicles, and then as I got a little bit older, I was like, yeah, I'm leasing vehicles, but I'm not getting anything. Like, I can't call it mine, and I'm just driving it. It's like basically a fancy rental kind of thing, and it's an expensive rental too. Um, so it came time to turn in the Toyota for because the term was over, and when we had discussed it, I was talking to them originally, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well you can buy the vehicle afterwards, and you can get it at a discounted rate because you technically are buying it used and da 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 all this mumbo jumbo." Well, what they didn't, and I told them, it's like, well, if I buy it, then do I have to worry about the mileage overages and stuff? Because you're only allowed to drive it for so many thousands of miles per year um, when you lease it, kind of thing. You got to stay under a certain mileage cap. And they're like, no, well, if you're going to buy it, then you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Well, what they didn't elaborate is, no, you do have to worry about it, because what happens is that value then negatively affects the term of the lease, and you then roll the value that you would be charged from the overage and the mileage into the next purchase, kind of thing. So because they had told me flat out, no, you don't have to worry about the mileage cap and all that stuff, I'd driven it. I wasn't paying attention to the mileage cap, kind of thing. And I was going to buy it when everything was said and done. Well, everything was said and done, and I owed like $3,000 or $4,000 on top of the value of the car, and it depreciated the value of the Toyota even more. So it was one of those, when everything was said and done, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to buy anything from you. I was so angry at the time that I just stormed off. I'm done with talking to you people, and I ran off to the local Ford dealership, called in, said, hey, I need the family discount code, da 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 da, and I ended up on Black Friday of 2011 going in there, and it's like, okay, I need a car, I need to get rid of this one, and all the fees and stuff still applied, kind of thing, but one of those that I wasn't going to give my money to the dealership that, to me, kind of manipulated the truth, kind of thing. So long story short, it was, when I was younger and more naive, kind of thing, wasn't really, too aware as to what was being done, kind of thing, and it came and bit me in the butt, kind of thing. So I ended up getting the Ford Fusion, and regretted it ever since. Because it's not that it's a bad car, it's just I got one with no bells and whistles. It was the entry level one, and 4-cylinder, just it's just not a great car. And again, transmission issues. It's got 140,000 miles on it, give or take, and it developed transmission issues very early. Had to go through all the recall issues from the airbags with Ford. Those were very famous recall issues that they had for the longest time. They actually had it, because of the recalls, they had that vehicle in their possession for like almost a year. They were paying for a rental for almost a year, because they just didn't, they had so many vehicles to work on. And it's like, well, if they're going to give me a rental, then yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. I put however many miles on somebody else's vehicle and not have to worry about it. Absolutely, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, have not been happy with the several Fords I bought in the recent past, and yeah, have always been instilled to be a Chevy boy. Let's see, 19 weeks. Okay, so yeah, she's only a few weeks further along than my wife. Like I said, I think my wife's I think she'll be 14 weeks in on Saturday. I think it's 14 weeks. I'll have to double check, but yeah, only a few weeks off from each other. That's awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Uh, Love the 95 Corvette. Yes, yes. 90, that Corvette, I got to drive it a few times, and when he bought it, he ended up buying it from a neighbor, um, who that's what he does. He just gets these older vehicles and he just restores them, repairs them, and sells them off for profit, kind of thing. And he had the 95 there for a while. Um, and my dad's like, hey, what are you looking to get out of that? And so, oh, I'll let you, take it for, I think he's bought it for like 6 or 7 grand, kind of thing. So it's somewhere in that ballpark. And my dad, he ended up putting in a ton of work. He had to put in a new Omni Spark, and the engine would overheat, so he had to deal with that kind of stuff, and just he ended up putting on a new leather top on it because it was a convertible. What else did he do to that car? All sorts of stuff. At the end of the day, he ended up selling it for I think 12 grand or something like that. It was, he ended up making money on it, and yeah, it was just fantastic. He ended up rebuilding several main, important components to it. Come on, get all that. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're talking. But yeah, when he ended up moving and moved down here, he ended up getting a really, really nice. What was it? It was a brand new. It was a Chevy. Or no, I'm sorry, no, not a Chevy. A GMC. What was it? Is it the RT4? RT4 pickup truck. RT4? No, AT4. AT4. Anyways, really, really nice truck. Really nice truck. Diesel, big old monster diesel engine in it. Just, yeah, absolutely gorgeous truck. And he absolutely loves that thing. But he also bought a camper and all this stuff. And the reason he bought the truck is because he needed a big vehicle to be able to pull the camper with. So he installed a 5th wheel attachment, in the bed of the pickup, and there we go. Come on. Oh, hey, oh my goodness, there's trees. Watch out for that tree. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh, hey, there's another tree. Boop. Just give it a little tap. A little tap, 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 taparoo. You know what? That's what this stream is going to be. This is just going to be the late night movie reference stream with your host Big Daddy Dave. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else gems I can bust out there. Let's see. You never cross the streams. Cross the streams. Ooh. Excuse me, you said crossing the streams was bad. Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you what. Let's see if I can get this. No, no, it's all the way out there. That stinks. Oh well. Oh, come on. Oh, hey. There we go. Okay. Nice. All right, that's working out really nice, actually. I'm happy with this. There we go. Oof. Let's see. I love that commercial. Chevrolet put it out. I mean, like, yes. Oh, those were the good commercials back in the day. The old Chevy, like a rock. Oh, like a rock. Yeah, those were the good ones. And you know what? It might be my age and my bias behind it, but I just think that television, just pretty much everything in general, was better back in the day. I might sound like an old fuddy-duddy by saying that, but I don't care. You know, it's just, I feel like there's just so much crap out there nowadays. Like, just people are phoning it in so hard nowadays. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my age. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Just one of those that it's like the level of effort that is put into things is just non-existent, and all we're left with is just this kind of vapid nonsense that has nothing to do with anything that can be observed in reality, and is just out there to drive some kind of silly message or point. Like, I don't know. Just maybe it's just me. It's, you know, I personally, I don't watch a lot of TV and movies or anything like that anymore because of just how entertainment is nowadays. You know, as I've said many times, that's what motivated me to make this channel, was just seeing how lack of entertainment there was, or at least what I would say is entertaining for myself, and that just things that just weren't laced with a whole bunch of nonsense and garbage that had nothing to do with what was being, you know, put forward, kind of thing. Like putting something into your show or into your advertisement or into whatever it is that you're doing that had just no business being there in the first place, kind of thing. I don't know. Let's see, can I now set the worker off to do their thing? Oh, hey, maybe. There we go. Now that's a swath. Whew. Boy, that's a big swath. That's gonna be fun to bail. Oh well. It is what it is. Thankfully I got this big claw, so I'll be able to just climb over it like a mountain. Oh, goodness. Let's see. fix that. There we go. Perfect. So just need to finish windrowing all this hay here, make the bales, and deliver bales. It looks like we got to take them to that bale sale place over by the main farm. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sell the bales. I don't, because these are square bales, you know what? Let me know, anybody out there listening to this. This is just a general question. Does anybody else think in this general way? So, whenever I do grass care or things like that, I decide on whether or not I'm going to use square bales, round bales, and that's what I stick with. And if I'm using the kind of bale storage and pallet storage things that we just recently got, I will, for some reason, and I don't know why I do this. This is just what I feel like is just a me thing. But if I have like round bales in the storage, I don't want to combine my square bales in with it. Even though it doesn't do anything, it doesn't take away from anything, it doesn't take extra space, it doesn't mess anything up. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just, that might be just a me thing, but it's just one of those where I always, whenever I put it in there and I see the square bales and the round bales all there at the same time, it just like messes with my sense of calm. I don't know why. I don't know why. So, what's that? What did I just see? It must have been a reflection off of the flowers there, because, huh. That was odd. That was very, very odd. Let's see. But you know what? Let me give a shout out to my channel members really quick, just so I can make sure I don't forget about that. So, want to give a shout out to all the tier 2 members. Mark K, thank you very much for being a tier 2 member. I greatly appreciate it so very, very much. And if you are interested in being, let me try that again. If you are interested in being a channel member, whether a tier 1 or tier 2, go ahead and check, I believe in the description down below of this live stream, there's a link to the membership page, and you can either join at a tier 1 or tier 2. Tier 1 being 99 cents a month, tier 2 being $4.99 a month, and you get special perks and special perks by being a channel member, such as custom emojis, custom badges. You also get early access to edited content such as the Let's Plays and shorts. You also get the shout-outs like the tier 2s get here tonight. You get it every single time we do a live stream. We'll give a shout-out to all of our tier 2 members. So, like I said, if you're interested, go ahead and check out that link in the description below, or the join button on the main channel page. It goes to help out the channel immensely. Goes to, help the sustainability and the future growth of this channel. And sorry, I just thought I heard something over my shoulder and turned around and didn't see nothing there. Anyways, helps the sustainability and the future growth of this channel. I got so many plans I would love to be able to do for this channel, but we just gotta, play it smart, continue to grow the channel, and continue to do what it is that we need to do in order to get to those kind of goals, kind of thing. So we'll get there one day. It's just, just gotta put in the effort, put in the grind, kind of thing. And for those who know me, know that I am certainly not afraid of putting in the effort and making sure that we get this where we got to get it to. So again, I greatly appreciate everybody out there, all my members, all my subscribers. I greatly appreciate every single one of you out there. I really, none of this would be possible without all of you out there. So thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. So now that we have discussed the members and gotten all that out of the way, let me also throw out, down in the bottom left hand corner, you should see all of my handles for my social media pages. If you're enjoying the content and want to be able to follow any sort of updates that I have going on, mainly content related updates, these are the places to follow me. If you have any sort of issues getting notifications through YouTube or anything like that, this is where I post in order to make sure that we are getting all the information out there that needs to get out there. All the notifications are out there that that we want to be able to follow along, be able to keep up with the channel. So go ahead and check them out. I post on there every single time that I put out some kind of content, letting people know that the content is available for everyone out there. Let's see, we're about the halfway point of this field. Yeah, the worker's not getting everything, but it just means I'll have to do a funky pass or two. That's all right. That's not a huge deal. Let's see. Spring. There we go. All right. So at this point, we just need to finish it. Oh, it looks like we got a couple more passes. Oh no, it's yeah, there's still at least see, maybe 3 more passes. No, maybe 4. Jody says, love cutting grass in the game. Yes, absolutely. It's one of the, I think it's one of the most lucrative contracts that you can get your hands on. When you're just doing the contract the way that it's intended to be done. If you sit there and you sell all the bales, especially silage bales, you can make a ton of money, and you get so much leftover product at the end of every single contract that it really adds up, and it adds up really quick. But what I think is really cool about this are just the vast improvements that Giants made to the animations for grass cutting. So you've got the, when the grass is being actually mowed, you have all the spitting out from the machine itself. That's really cool. Then the biggest improvement is the tedding. Seeing the animation of all the grass just kind of flicking up into the air and then coming back down to the ground. It's just really cool. And then, using all the specialized equipment, you've got the windrower here, making the rows. It's really cool equipment. And I've actually when I was in Tennessee, passed by a couple of dealerships for farm equipment and whatnot, and I actually saw a lot of this stuff in real life. A lot of like tedders and windrowers and all that stuff, and you do not get an appreciation for how big this stuff is until you see it in real life. I was blown away because I saw not this exact windrower, but one that was basically the same kind of model, just painted differently, and it just blew my mind at how massive it was, how large it was. You just don't get an appreciation for that. And if you take a look, in the buy menu, this particular windrower, is it this one? I think it's this one. I mean, it's almost 10 meters wide. That's what, 30 feet? That's huge. That's absolutely massive. You know, and then you talk about like this one here, 15 meters. The Kloss here, that's what, 15, 30. No, what is that? Is that what, 45 feet? Yeah, 45 feet. Like that's huge. That's absolutely massive. But you don't really, like, I can sit here and spit numbers out all evening kind of thing, but you don't get an appreciation of just the size of it until you're actually there. And then to think, like, you have to drive these things around, you know, especially if you're like in England or you know, like some of these small farms in real life. I mean, you know, if you're in Ireland, in England, and you're dealing with these small fields and small farms, and you're driving this kind of equipment around in those, you know, really small farms or small situations that you got going on, it's just wow, just absolute wow. You know, because it's like, it's not a small piece of equipment. It's not something that you can just, you know, flick into, you know, a tiny little area and be okay with it. It's like, no, you got to have some skill when driving this stuff around, or else you're going to have, you know, a bunch of dented and dinged equipment kind of thing, or a minimum bunch of dented and dinged, you know, barns, buildings, and fence posts kind of thing. But yeah, it's just, it was wild seeing this at that dealership, and just really kind of being in awe at just how large it is. So it was just cool. It was something like, you know, playing this game for as long as I have, and then, you know, actually getting to see some of these components in real life. It was like, wow, that's really cool. All right, last pass. Now we're talking. Let's see. So we're gonna make the bales after this. There we go. Make the bales after this. After we make the bales, we're then going to transport them over to the delivery point. Let's see. All in all, yeah, this has worked out very nicely. And you figure we started with, what do we start with? Like $150,000. We're now almost up to, or we're going to be well above 200,000 when this is all done. Because like I said, I'm just going to sell all these bales. I don't need, you know, I don't need the bales at the moment. I need the money more than the bales. Let's see. Jody says, watching, oh, that's another good movie. The Santa Claus, yeah. With Tim Allen, yeah. I like Tim Allen. I think he's absolutely hilarious. It's actually funny when we were there in Tennessee, because they had like satellite television there, and we're flipping through the channels, and all of a sudden Home Improvement came on, and they're like, oh man, we haven't seen this show in forever. I used to love that show growing up. Used to love Home Improvement. Sitting there watching Tim Allen and Tool Time, and oh my goodness, what was the character's name was Jill, but I can't remember what her name is. Her real name. Oh, such a great show. I loved it. It was actually the episode, for anybody out there who recalls it. It was the episode where Tim and his family find a snake in the walls, and it crawls out at the end there, and it climbs down his shirt, and he starts, you know, having an absolute, you know, his spurg fest. Because, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I would too. I'm not a fan of snakes. Um, that's the one thing I can blame my mother for, is instilling in me a definite fear of snakes. I'm not a fan of snakes whatsoever. It's funny, whenever my wife wants to play a really mean joke on me, she'll dig into her closet, she'll go out and she'll grab one of her like rubber snakes, and then I'll be, you know, walking through the house not paying any attention, and all of a sudden she's like, "Hey babe," whips a rubber snake at my face. Needless to say, I'm not very happy when she does things like that. But she thinks it's hilarious. I wonder why. Alright, now let's see what we can do here. There we go. You know, I should just go at this angle first. Yeah, we were sitting there, we were watching Home Improvement. We were, then we got to talking about that other show that he did later on. What was it called? I think it was called Last Man Standing. That was a good show too. That one I enjoyed. Alright, let's get one more little chunk here and then we'll make our way down. There we go. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Let's see. Well, oh, I didn't think about that. That's going to make it really difficult to come back through and get what I'm missing. It doesn't even look like I'm missing anything. Oh, no, I'm definitely missing. Ouch. I'm trying to think of some other really good Christmas movies. Actually, another decent one that my wife introduced me to. I never watched it before meeting her, but it was, again, another Tim Allen movie, Christmas with the Cranks. That's actually a pretty decent movie. You know, I mean, stereotypical, you know, kind of Christmas feel good kind of movie, but no, it was enjoyable kind of thing. Especially now that I'm older and I've got a daughter and another on the way, you know, kind of. I don't want to say it's relatable, but it's one of those that you can not sympathize, but you can you know, kind of feel for, you know, all the things that are going on in that movie kind of thing. Jody says that was a real good show. Yes, 100%. I used to love Home Improvement. I would vividly remember watching that show because it was always on right before. If a hockey game was on TV, it would always come on right before the game started and then lead into the game. So I'd always be watching that up until the game started, and then be watching the games. And oftentimes I'd be sitting there watching it with my father. So it was just really good times, a lot of good memories, and just an absolutely hilarious show. And sadly, unfortunately, I feel like a show that just could not be made in today's climate. Just one of those where having a, how do I want to say this? Having just a good, feel-good family comedy, I just don't feel like you're gonna find too many of those nowadays that are at least worth, the watch. But again, that might be just a me thing. There might be plenty of stuff out there, and I'm just not aware of it, and just been so soured on Hollywood and the way that things are done nowadays. I don't know. Might just be a me thing. Oh. Turn. Let's see, I'm just trying to get all these little weird spots. What's funny is actually another show that oops, that I actually really enjoyed, and it's actually relatively recent. Was a show called How I Met Your Mother. That was actually a really, really good show. Really funny. It's got what's his name, the Doogie Howser kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. Oh goodness, why can't I remember? Neil Patrick Harris. That's his name. Yeah, that's actually a really funny show. Kind of. It's also, what's his the guy who plays Marshall? What's his name? David Sagal, I think is his name. I could be wrong about that one, but anyways, yeah, it's really, really funny, especially Neil Patrick Harris's character. His character plays like this kind of playboy kind of like just a kind of a player kind of character, is only interested in how do I clean this up for YouTube? Only interested in using women and whatnot. But by the end of the series, his character takes like this really radical shift, which I think is actually a really good kind of shift for his character. I'm not going to go into all the details and whatnot because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who would be interested in watching it. But like I said, he's like this really kind of nasty, like playboy kind of person who's only interested in using women, and then towards the end, or at the end of the series, he has this kind of awakening kind of thing, and I think is probably the most how do I want to say it? The most accurate kind of awakening that a man can have when they are in that kind of position, when they are only interested in using and abusing. It's like the most accurate kind of aha moment that a man like that could have. And I feel like it was just a really good kind of growth for that character. Now I will say that the kind of overall ending to the show was kind of a letdown kind of thing. But it was still good. It certainly wasn't Game of Thrones. No, to be fair, I have not seen all of Game of Thrones. I was waiting purposely because I hate sitting there and committing, oh, I've got to sign on because it's Sunday. I've got to go watch the latest episode kind of thing. I would rather wait for everything to come out and then just watch it when I have the time to watch everything kind of thing. I don't get the thrill of sitting there. Oh, it's Tuesday. The next episode of whatever's coming on. Got to go watch it. I'd sooner just wait, and then once everything's all out and good to go, then I'll go and watch it when I can. Perfect example of me not liking that. I really got into very heavily the anime called Attack on Titan. Really, really enjoyed that, and so much so that I actually got my wife into it, and she's not an anime fan whatsoever. But after the first episode, I personally was hooked, and I told her, you give me one episode, I guarantee that you will be hooked with this series. And sure enough, she watched the first episode. She's like, yes, we're watching episode 2 now. And I told her, it's like, okay, well, look, just so you know, not all the episodes are released. We're still waiting for, X, Y, and Z. And they just recently released the final episode of the series in Japanese. So my wife and I are just sitting here just chomping at the bit, waiting to see how it ends. And she keeps threatening. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to watch the Japanese version. It's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it, please. Because she just doesn't want to wait. She doesn't want to wait for that final, dubbed episode. And I don't blame her. I don't want to wait either. It's absolutely driving me nuts. Did I miss just a whole bunch of stuff? Yeah, I did too. There we go. But yeah, that was such a great series. Like I said, it's one of those, even if you're not a huge anime fan, I think that just about everybody can watch and enjoy that. Now, I will say, very graphic, very like blood and gore kind of stuff. So if that's not your cup of tea, then I completely understand, kind of thing. But that one, like, very, very good, good show. And it's got some pretty deep messaging behind it too. Like, it's one of those I don't want to say it's as deep as like the original Matrix or anything like that, but it's got that kind of same kind of feel where there's so many kind of subtext and uh, like deeper meaning kind of stuff that is really kind of cool kind of thing. There we go. All right, so we are almost done. Wow, we've only 21 bales. I feel like we should have way more bales than this. Let's see. Reese's Pieces of candy. Oh, Reese's Pieces. I love me some Reese's Pieces. Oh, love me some Reese's Pieces. It's funny. My father-in-law, he he is like a candy junkie. He loves him some Oreos and Reese's and all this stuff. Well, every year here for the past, several years, my wife, for, Christmas or Easter or whatever, holiday where you throw in some candy, she'll go out and get him some kind of, like I said, Reese's or whatever, but she doesn't just get him one of those. She gets him the, like, mega pack, like the 2-pound brick of Reese's. There was one time where she bought this, like, bar, and it should have been like a novelty kind of thing, like this novelty kind of. It was a 5-pound Reese's bar, like a Reese's peanut butter cup, and and I'm carrying this massive hunk of chocolate into their house as a gift. It's all wrapped up and stuff. And I'm carrying this massive, massive candy bar. And it comes time to open gifts and whatnot that we brought over. And I hand him the candy bar for him to open up and whatnot. And the look on his face was like literally a kid in a candy shop. Just that literal just awe and bewilderment of a 5-pound thing of Reese's. And he's just like, no, you did not find a 5-pounder of Reese's. And she's like, yes, I did. And he's like, oh, yeah. And sure enough, as soon as he gets that thing in his hand, he doesn't care about anything else in the world at that point. He's breaking into that Reese's bar, and he's taking this first bite, and he bites into the side of this thing. And it's like, it's the size of a Frisbee disc, and about, I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6 inches tall. Like, this thing is absolutely massive. And he starts mowing into this thing, just taking one bite after another after another. And by the time we're all done unwrapping gifts, he's got, like, I don't know, a quarter of this thing just all mounded and put away. It's like, holy smokes, man, what is up with you? He's like, what? I love Reese's. It's like, yeah, I don't blame you whatsoever there. Okay, yes, I am going the right way. Hey, Saskatchewan, how's it going? Oh no, you had the vid. Ugh. Oh, that stinks. Sorry to hear that, man, but glad to hear that you're feeling better. Oh, that stinks. Let's see. Now we'll go pick up the bale loader. You know what just occurred to me? I think I said I made, what, 15 or 16 bales? That means that I'm going to have to make at least 2 trips with this. With this trailer here, because I think it only holds 14. one of those. Why did they do that? Why do they always seem to give you the one set of equipment that's always like one or two allotments shy? So you have to make a second trip. Does anybody else know why? I don't know why. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, bob and weave, stick and move. Ah, flying tractor. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, let's pick up these bales and get this contract completed, because, whew, this has been a contract, I tell you what. Let's see, then turn here. Just, oh, hey, follow the equipment. I was going to say follow the tracks, but nope, just need to follow the equipment, apparently. Let's see. Saskatchewan also says, you're driving on the wrong side of the road. Yes, I know. The silly American driving on the wrong side of the road. I do that so often. I need to I need to stop. Oh no, wait. Wait a minute. I was on the right. I was on the left. Oh wait, you're making a joke, aren't you? Uh-oh. Yes. See, it's late enough now that I had to sit there and think about whether or not I was actually on the wrong side of the road or not. But this is an Irish map, so they drive on the left side on this map. Oh, oh, come on. There you go. There we go. Let's pick up these. Oh, oh, there we go. There we go. Come on. Turn. Oh, it's like turning a boat. Let's see, what? 3 more? $12. 2 more. Come on. 2 more. See? Wait a minute. Alright. Correct me if I'm wrong. I swore I saw the bale counter say like 15 bales. There is way more than 15 bales on this field. Am I losing my mind? Am I just going insane? Please, somebody out there, confirm or deny my levels of insanity right now, because I swore I saw it say 15, maybe 16. All right, you know what? I'm sorry. I need a sanity check right now. I need to know if I'm just losing my mind or something. $29. What? I'm so confused right now. I'm so lost. Alright, well, not important. Not important at all. Let's just get this delivered, because, oh, that... Oh my, I swore it said like 15 or 16 when I was at the end of the contract. Or not the end of the baling. Let's see, so this is, yes, this is going to the bale place up there by the farm. So if I remember right, I gotta get up to this first intersection, make a left, and follow that around. This map is so intricate with its road networks. I'm still learning all the roads and where to go and how to get to certain places. Especially the fields. The fields are really difficult to remember because there's so many little side roads and nooks and crannies that you have to traverse. So let's see. Let's see if... Whoa! Whoa! Easy there, killer. Four-wheel steer. I swear, four-wheel steering is going to be the death of me. On one hand, it's really nice because you can really kind of pinpoint accurate, get to where you need to get to. But you're going 33 miles an hour. Pinpoint turns into sloppy, you know, side of a barn. There we go. All right, let's see if we can actually finish a contract in one load. Let's see. Susu. Oh. Well, Hi Susu, how are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having a good day so far. I'm not exactly sure what you put there in the chat, but hope you're having a good day so far. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... Oh, did it... Nope. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to have at least one more trip. And then after that trip is done, we should be able to... What do you think? Yeah, we should be able to collect the contract once we get everything all delivered, because like I said, I'm gonna sell off all the bales, get the money. I'm actually really excited to see how this map looks in wintertime, just to see how it opens up with all these trees kind of lining the road, just to see what it looks like. I'm very curious as to how much the landscape's going to change once all the leaves are off and you can kind of see into the distance. Let's see. Almost back to the field. Well, we're almost to the farm, and then we're going to cut through the farm to get to the field. Oh. I looked over at the chat while driving. That's not... Everybody knows. I say it all the time. If I drove in real life the way that I drive in this game, I'd be in... likely be in prison. Let's see, so... lower that down. Let's pick up the rest of these bales. Oh, no. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting there. And that row's done. Here, let's go ahead and just pick up these couple here at the end. Going this way will be a lot easier. Nope. Apparently I'm... apparently I was wrong. There we go. Now we're talking. Alright, so at this point, we're just going to finish up picking these up. Oh, hey, let me go. Let me go. There we go. So 4 more bales. It looks like I got, what, 5? 5 bales left. Go, and of course 1 bale left. 1 bale. You're killing me, Smalls. Again, name that movie. Like I said, tonight is just going to be one of those where we're just going to start naming every single old movie, good and bad. We started with the Christmas movies, then we kind of moved on to other movies from there. Now we're on to some like old school. I shouldn't say old school. Well, I guess I would say it's older. It's an older movie. But kind of a oldie but a goodie. That's what we'll call it. Oldie but a goodie. You're killing me, Smalls. The Great Bambino. Oh my God! Are you telling me it's the same guy? Oh my goodness. That one was a really good movie. I really stop it. That's another one I'm gonna have to put into the old proverbial tape deck, because that's a movie I haven't seen in ages. But again, one of those where, because like I've mentioned a couple of times before, I grew up with VHS tapes and had a TV and a VHS player in my room growing up. I would fall asleep to movies constantly, and that was one of them that I would just have on repeat, like constantly. I'd press play, fall asleep to the movie, and then, I would know how long I'd last based on what I remembered last hearing. There we go. Alright, well, we're going to finish a contract with this one here. But we still got that 1 bale. That 1 bale. There we go. What are we going to get? Almost 9 grand. Well, 9 with the environmental score, so nice. And then what do I get for the contract? 16? That's not bad at all. Alright, let's go grab that last bale, complete the contract. And that'll give us somewhere in the ballpark, I'm guessing, of like 222,000, give or take. Let's see, so we're making it there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm happy with the progress that we made today. Let's see. So I'm actually really happy because it really seems like the map here, because of all these street lights, it seems brighter than, I guess, what it maybe how it should be. I don't know. I'm not having any difficulty seeing. A lot of that also is because of the nice lights on this tractor. I don't know. Just I really like the looks and the aesthetics of the. Ooh, no. Could we not? Of course, we get hung up on the last on the last bale is when we get hung up and get stuck, and it'd be my luck that we're maybe 20 feet away from delivering the bale itself. Then all of a sudden somebody comes running out and I get clobbered and sent halfway across the map like I did on Hills of Tuscany. If anybody's seen that short, check out the shorts. I think it was the last one I put out. It's been a while since I've put out a new short. I tell you what, the last episode 3 was definitely shorts worthy. Plenty of issues that happened in episode 3, as we discussed earlier in the stream. Let's see, so got that last bale. Let's go ahead and sell it, collect the contract, and yeah, I think we'll be, oh, hey, let's fold that up too. There we go. Make our way out of the farm. Now we just need to make it back there with our one extra bale. Why? Why? Why does it do this? Where it just gives you one or two more than what you actually need based on the equipment they give you. It's like, I think the game does it just to mess with you, just to be like, kind of like Nelson in the Simpsons. Ha ha. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on. See, this is what I was talking about. We're going to make our way over there, and about 20 feet away, I'm going to get clobbered by some traffic. It's going to send me flying across the map. We're not going to get this last bale all said and done. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to power away. We're going to will it into existence. Come on, Colossus Tractor. I think you can. I think you can. I think you can. No, you know what? Upgrade. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. There we go. He's coming up to the finish line, and he trips. There we go. Nice. Holy jumping bale, Batman. There we go. Perfect. Collect $224,000 after everything's all said and done. Love it. Love it. Let's see. Just take one final sweep around. Make sure that... Yep, that's good. And here... Okay, 1913. Plenty, 170,000. I still need to get some grains for the chickens. Get that up and running. I've got a horse, but somebody stole my parsnips. And you know what? Jody took claim of the parsnips, so how dare you, Jody? How could you? Thought we were buddies, man. Stole my parsnips. It's wild. The parsnips were here. I took them out of the silo, specifically because Cavalier Roy said, hey, if it's not in the changelog as part of the new crop types that will be accepted in here, then it's going to delete it, kind of thing. But it just deleted it outright, just the whole 9 yards. All my parsnips were gone. And now, and so much so that it's even affected this. Like, no root crops in here whatsoever. So that is a bummer. But I think we are at the end of this live stream. Yeah. I think we made some pretty good progress tonight. I'm really pleased with it. We got so much accomplished. We got, what, 4 or 5 separate contracts. We've got the bales that we sold off. We got the sunflowers we sold off. We had a cultivating contract and a couple of fertilizing contracts. So we did pretty good. Pretty good tonight. And again, $224,000. That's going to go a long ways. So I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. That shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody out there has a fantastic day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care.